Welcome to the Mississippi High School State Basketball Tournament, broadcast live here on the MHSAA Network. We are getting set for the Class 2A Boys Championship game. The matchup this afternoon between the SV Marshall Tigers out of the north, as well as the Baldwin Bearcats out of the north as well. We have a great matchup on tap today. I'm Travis Raycheck, soon to be joined on the broadcast by Orion Watson, as well as on the sidelines by Ray Coleman. And in this matchup today, we have teams pretty familiar with themselves. They met just a few weeks ago in the North State title game, that one going to overtime, so we can expect another good matchup today. Both teams with impressive wins last week to get to this point. The Baldwin Bearcats come in with a record of 28-5, and everything that goes on their offense goes through D. Gates, the junior. 18 points in the matchup in their semifinal win over Bay Springs the other day. Baldwin led by head coach Jason McKay, playing for his first state championship as a coach. McKay actually did win 2 as a player here for the Baldwin Bearcats. On the other side, the team from Holmes County is the SV Marshall Tigers, led by head coach Antoine Patrick. And they've got a lot of star players, but it all revolves around their point guard. We're talking about the senior Tomasio Wilson. Wilson went for 14 points and 5 assists in Marshall's win over their Holmes County rival the other day, Williams-Sullivan. So that is what is on tap today. The Marshall Tigers taking on the Baldwin Bearcats. When we return, we will have tip-off here in the Class 2A Boys Championship game right here on the MHSAA Network.
We've shown opportunity to generations of young men and women, shaped leaders of the past, and guided those to come, lending a hand, finding solutions, honoring a heritage of compassion and service, a feeling of family that starts at home with a global reach, rooted in the foundation of our past, creating the future. This is our state, Mississippi State University.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
The 2012 MHSAA Basketball Championships are brought to you by Mississippi State University, committed to advancing our state through learning, research, and service. For more information, go to msstate.edu. Also by C Spire Wireless, your personalized network. Bank Plus, it's more than a name, it's a promise. And Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center, life is a sport. And we are about ready to go here in the Class 2A Boys State Championship game. The Baldwin Bearcats meeting the Marshall Tigers. I'm Travis Raycheck, joined now by Orion Watson. And Orion, as we get ready for this matchup, two teams that played each other a couple of weeks ago went to overtime. How do you see this one coming out?
I see this game as going to be a terrific battle. It's going to be an up and down basketball game.
It's going to be a hard-nosed game, too, as well. You got two teams that are gritty, that are definitely going to get after each other. So looking forward to an exciting basketball game.
That first meeting, 66-61, went into overtime just a couple of weeks ago. So very closely matched, and both teams impressive double-digit wins in the semifinals to get to this point. We're about ready for tip-off. If you want to look at the Baldwin Bearcats starting lineup, it all goes through D. Gates, the junior. But you see something there. Duke Upshaw, yes, he's an 8th grader. Joined in the lineup by Tevin Lindsay, Ian Burris, and Romero Crump. A lot of youth on that Bearcat starting front. For the Tigers, Marquise Vance is a dandy dozen junior. Tomasio Wilson is the guy to watch. He'll handle the ball at most times. Jamal Jackson, DeMarcus Weatherall, as well as Raheem Hogan. And we are ready to go here in the Class 2A Boys Championship game. Marshall coming out in the white uniforms with the maroon numbers on the jerseys, as well as the yellow trim. It is Baldwin in the all red. It's Vance working up top, and he gets it quickly down low to Hogan. Hogan, a good move underneath, but his layup won't go, so quickly the other way comes Gates. Early shot from the outside, up and good. Knocked down by Ian Burris, and Baldwin takes the early 3-0 lead.
I tell you, Baldwin plays with a lot of energy, and they are certainly bringing it starting out and a good, solid, aggressive man-to-man.
And quickly, Wilson takes his first shot of the afternoon. That one rims in and out, so the Bearcats will come quickly the other way. Great no-look pass down low, and that jumper up and good from Upshaw, the 8th grader.
Talented young man, I tell you, just to be in 8th grade, they got a lot to look forward to in the future with him.
So quickly, Baldwin with the 5-0 lead as Vance sets up on the block. He'll survey, look to drive baseline, has a great size advantage, but he travels underneath, so turn it over, and the Bearcats with the early momentum.
One of the things about Baldwin is that they don't make a lot of mistakes defensively. Coach McKay does a great job making sure these guys are sound on the defensive end.
So breaking the pressure, Bearcats come up the other way. Upshaw trapped in the corner, his pass deflected and out of bounds. And Orion, quickly we see it on the floor, and everybody can probably see it at home. The size advantage belongs to Marshall, but that's something that Baldwin has battled all year. They don't start anyone over 6 foot.
Definitely SV Marshall has that size advantage. One of the things about Baldwin is that they play so hard, they make up for it in so many different ways.
Impressive move that time by Wilson. Tomasio Wilson takes it the length of the floor after the block by Vance, so you saw a little bit of the size there, and now the Tigers are on the board for the first time.
It's interesting to see whether SV Marshall will try to pound that basketball on the inside.
They work it around the perimeter. Marshall in the zone defense, and they create the turnover as that time Gates travels.
Here we go with Baldwin in the full court pressure. Let's see how SV Marshall handles that.
Wilson very smooth with the ball, kicks it in the corner. The 3 ball, no good. It is off that time by Jackson.
D. Gates seemed to be a little bit shaken up off of that last screen that was set.
So now Burris will operate from the top. He'll swing it in the corner to Gates as they work the ball around the perimeter. It'll be hard to get it inside. A definite size advantage with Hogan and Vance down there for the Tigers. On the outside, shot passed up at first, but then D. Gates off on that attempt, comes up a little bit short, and Tomasio Wilson comes away with it.
Yeah, SV Marshall is starting out in a zone, appears to be a 1-2-2, so far seems to be working in the half court.
So now Vance will set up again. Wilson's outside shot, no good. Good job of blocking out there by Upshaw, and Baldwin comes the other way.
SV Marshall still in that zone.
Marshall extending that zone a little bit with Jackson up top alongside DeMarcus Weatherall. Now Gates will make his move, off-balance jumper in the lane. That one goes off the back heel. Fight for the ball, and eventually controlled by Baldwin. Now they swing it in the corner. That attempt is just a little bit strong from Lindsay, and we'll go the other way.
Tell you, really impressed with D. Gates. Strong, aggressive player, doesn't mind attacking the basket. Just really impressed with him so far.
We want to join our third member of the broadcast crew today. He's working the sidelines. Ray Coleman joins us right now. Ray, what are you seeing down there? So it is 5-2 right now. Baldwin leads. We apologize for Ray's mic not working. We'll get it taken care of here in just a little bit. So early on, as we look at this matchup, Coach Jason McKay leading Baldwin into this game. His team at 28-5. It is Antoine Patrick, the leader of the Tigers. They're 30-3, riding a 27-game win streak as they enter this contest. That time, though, a travel underneath Hogan tried to make his move in the paint and took an extra step.
I tell you, if SV Marshall is going to be in this ball game, they definitely got to take advantage of their size on the inside.
Great job that time pushing it up through the press and the pass inside to Devontae Gates. He'll go to the line for the first time.
Great job of seeing the floor, pushing the ball, breaking the press, and delivering the pass.
Both of these teams stick pretty heavily with their starting five, but for Gates off the Baldwin bench, he's probably the most effective role player. Had 7 points in the win the other day over Bay Springs.
He's a heady player, sees the floor well, really gets his teammates involved. We've got a violation here.
And we do. We have a lane violation that time on the Bearcats. So only one free throw for Gates. Comes back the other way with Marshall. Now Baldwin will pick up full court. Wilson now will look to push. Lindsay matches up and then drops back just a little bit. That time the pass intended for Kadarius Wilson, but off his hands and out of bounds. So state championship game, the jitters are always there early on.
Early on, playing for the gold ball, I tell you. We'll probably look for each team to settle down here in the second quarter.
So again, they continue to work it around the outside, looking for lanes to pass through and looking for shots to get up over that length of the Tigers. Very tough with the 6'5" Vance at the top of the key. That time the drive is up and no good. Burris can't knock his shot down.
I tell you, starting off, you're not seeing a lot of offensive rebounds. Both teams seem to be blocking out very well. One shot and out. So
that time, Vance traveled with the ball, and Vance brings a very impressive all-around game, but he's been battling a hamstring injury as of late, and it's limited him. He only had 8 points in the semifinal win, and we'll be eager to see how he handles today.
Yeah, I tell you, thus far it seems to be moving okay. Really would, I'm sure he would like to get a good basket or two down low to try to get his game going. So curious to see how he's going to respond here after the first quarter.
Shot off by Marshall and brought back the other way. Burris will set up the offense for the Bearcats.
SV Marshall still in that zone.
It's got to be tough working against a guy like Vance. The size and the length he presents is a problem.
Absolutely. You may not see a lot of three-point shots taken on his side.
That time the drive into the paint by Gates, but he walked with it. And early on, Oren, we've seen a lot of traveling calls. The refs aren't letting those extra steps, letting the teams get away with them.
Absolutely, and you know, definitely great job by the officials picking those up. Looks like with the defense that's being applied, it's really putting pressure on the offensive players to get creative in what they do.
Nice underneath move by Hogan, but he can't finish at the basket. So only 7 points have been scored so far, and we're more than 6 minutes into this game. 5-2, Baldwin leading, and we haven't had a bucket in a few minutes.
Yeah, we seem to be going through a dry spell right now. Both teams trying to adjust. Baldwin's adjusting to the zone, adjusting to the height. But I tell you, Baldwin's doing a great job on the defensive end. I mean, they're blocking out to be losing the battle in the size category. They're definitely handling their own on the boards.
Jumper in the lane. That time banked up and in by Gates. So he breaks the scoring slump and extends the Baldwin lead to 5 here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that we're not seeing a lot more points on the board than what we're seeing right now.
Good defense that time, knocked away, but Wilson controls. And as he drives into the lane, the charge is called. Duke Upshaw stepping up and taking the hit and comes back the other way with Baldwin.
I tell you, to make a sacrifice like that, you rarely find that in the game today, but great job by Coach McKay, having his team fundamentally sound on the defensive end and having his players with the mindset to step in and take those charges.
Coach Patrick making a quick change here. He's going to give Wilson a breather in this final minute of the first and bring in Omarius Ali, the sophomore, in his place. So under a minute to go, first quarter of action in this 2A boys championship game.
I tell you, SV Marshall thus far have done a decent job in the zone. We'll definitely see if they will remain in that zone or have to go into a man-to-man here before in the second quarter.
Looks like Baldwin will be content here trying to work the clock for the final shot of this period. They have a 5-point lead as we reach 10 seconds to go. And Burris will make his move, kick it in the corner. Now Gates, good look to Upshaw. Upshaw will finish, but he walked before he got the shot off. Big call right there, as it looked like it was going to be a chance for a 3-point play. So quickly the other way, they toss it up to Vance. Vance can't hang on to it, and ball trickles out of bounds under 2 seconds to go.
I tell you, that was great ball movement, great pass on the inside. Unfortunately, came up.
Vance will turn and shoot his 3-pointer off the backboard and no good. So at the end of the first quarter, the Baldwin Bearcats hold a 7-2 lead in a early low-scoring affair in the 2A title game. Quickly want to go back down the sidelines and join Ray Coleman.
Travis, thank you so much, man. Sorry about the technical difficulties earlier. We were mentioning that SV Marshall has the obvious size advantage, but as you can see, Baldwin holding their own in the post, getting great rebounds, boxing out, and the 8th grader, Duke Upshaw already having an immediate impact on this game. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
SV Marshall in this 2A title game here on the MHSAA Network.
For over 15 years, an accredited institution that has developed over 1,000 skilled and ready-to-work graduates, winners of 7 Student Addy Awards in graphic design and photography, giving back to the community with over 1,500 service hours a year, back-to-back winners of the Distinguished Career College Association Great Award. A winning institution with faculty and staff that will get you ready for a career you love. Antonelli College, once the best-kept secret in Jackson, is not a secret anymore.
Did you know Mississippi's 15 community colleges will teach more than 250,000 people in an average year? Nearly 72% of all college freshmen in our state attend a community college. Average tuition and required fees for the whole academic year are just $2,174. A community college is close to wherever you live. Community colleges provide education and workforce training to help us build job skills. Community colleges, in our 2nd century, making a difference in the lives of Mississippians.
Hotel stays at the Cabot Lodge Jackson North and the Cabot Lodge Millsaps include a complimentary hot breakfast buffet, evening reception with beverages and popcorn, access to a fitness center, and complimentary wireless access. Meeting rooms for corporate or social functions available at both locations. On North State Street in Jackson near Millsaps College and in Ridgeland off I-55 at County Line Road. Reservation information available at cabotlodge.com.
broadcast of the MHSAA High School Championships made possible in part by Antonelli College with campuses in Jackson and Hattiesburg, as well as online classes. Mississippi Community Colleges and the 15 public community and junior colleges around the state, and Cabot Lodge, Jackson North, and Cabot Lodge, Millsaps. As we return to action here in the 2A boys title game, second quarter ready to go with Baldwin on top by 5 and the ball.
So we see SV Marshall now coming out in the half-court trap to try to increase the tempo.
That shot in the corner up and no good. The three-ball attempt by Tevin Lindsay. Now quickly the other way. Marshall tries to run, but Jackson will step out of bounds.
A little misjudgment there on the floor. Didn't see where that sideline was. Unfortunately, stepped out of bounds. Here we go, back in the half-court trap by SV Marshall.
They're able to get it up court and then quickly down low to Upshaw. Shot in the corner that time. A high rainbow goes over and then knocked out of bounds.
Wow. Say, you got Crump in there battling with the tall guys in there on the glass. Knocked it out of bounds. SV Marshall's coming up the floor with it.
This time Vance on the wing. Vance knocks down the jumper. His first basket of the game, now 7-4.
I tell you, Travis, that was a big shot for him. Let's see if he can get it going here after that shot. That may give him a little bit of momentum there.
That time kicked up to the top of the key. Shot is no good by Lindsay. So Marshall will come back the other way. Wilson back in the game to Vance. Vance will take the shot from the outside. That's no good, but rebounded underneath, and a big time put back there for Jeremiah Proctor.
Tell you, that size played a big part in that, getting that offensive rebound and going back up and scoring it.
So as Coach Patrick brought his guys over for the break, only 2 points in the first quarter. What do you think he was talking about? Because quickly those adjustments have worked here.
Well, I think he basically did not want Baldwin to go into any type of delay game, and therefore they went into that half-court trap, try to create some tempo, create some momentum there, and it has paid off. Baldwin's taken some three-point shots. They haven't gone down, so that has given SV Marshall an opportunity to get out and position the big guys down on the inside.
Great look inside to Upshaw there, and then the 8th grader finishes it off. Now 9-6 Bearcats holding the 3-point lead just 2 minutes into this second quarter of play.
I tell you, even though an 8th grader, he certainly doesn't play like it.
And that is a big-time move right there by Marquise Vance. Spins in the lane, draws the contact, and gets it to go home. He'll head to the line for a chance at a 3-point play and an opportunity to tie this game up. Free throw is no good, so Baldwin will hold on to the 1-point lead. And after making just one field goal in the first quarter, Marshall has made 3 already here in the early stages of the second.
I tell you, it looks like SV Marshall has backed off of some of that pressure.
Wilson went up for a huge block there on the shot from Upshaw, but is called for the foul. Now Duke Upshaw will head to the line. And as we take another look at it, the block looked clean, but maybe a little bit of body contact.
We got a little bit of body there.
First free throw up and short by Upshaw. Now this Duke Upshaw youngster is very impressive. Only an 8th grader, leading scorer on this team, had 10 points in that semifinal matchup, so obviously the stage of the big house hasn't been too big for him.
Absolutely. I mean, to be as young as he is, he's certainly handling the pressure very, very well. He certainly doesn't play like an 8th grader, and the future really looks bright for him. I mean, if he continues to work and develop in all areas of the game, we'll certainly hear about him, and I project him to be a dandy dozen down the road.
So Baldwin holding on to a 10-8 lead as we have a timeout here in the action. 5:40 to go in the second quarter of action. And one of the interesting things to talk about with Upshaw and the role he's had to take on is it's been needed because they lost their best player, Reggie Patterson, to a torn ACL during the football season. Patterson was the leading scorer last year, from what I've been told would have been a Dandy Dozen selection going into this season, but he's been out with that injury. In fact, he's been with the team in warm-ups, and he follows them all around very closely, but his departure has left a big void, and Upshaw one of the guys that have filled it.
Okay.
So coming out of the timeout, the Tigers break the pressure. Once again, Wilson has come out of the game, and in for him is Ollie. Ollie works it to Vance. Vance, strong move up and under, and Marquise Vance is starting to feel it a little bit.
He is. He's certainly starting to make an impact in the game, and you know, certainly SV Marshall taking advantage of the size that they do have on the inside.
So tie in the action for the first time since 0-0. Baldwin now working it around the perimeter. Drive inside, the shot up and no good by Lindsey. Hogan snags the rebound. Vance thought about the three, will penetrate, kick it underneath, good look. That shot up and no good, but a chance to go to the line for Weatherall.
I tell you, when you get that close in, you really want to come away with a three-point play opportunity there. As the game progresses, those could be critical plays right there that could make a difference in this game.
And then you see right there, he can't connect on the first free throw. Now Weatherall, who himself is just a freshman, he comes up short on the second one, so a missed opportunity to take the first lead of the game for Marshall.
I tell you, SV Marshall thus far seem to be really content with staying in that zone for now.
Worked into the corner and then back up top to Burris. He'll call in the play. There's a look to Upshaw. Upshaw's shot from the free throw extended, no good. Vance comes down with the rebound, and here's the versatility. He can bring it up the floor and set up the offense. Vance will go one-on-one, take a jumper at the free throw line, in and out. Baldwin quickly with the rebound.
I tell you, that's impressive to see a person of his caliber and with his height be able to bring it up and run the point. Very impressive.
On the rebound there, Hogan comes down with it, and he is fouled, the fourth team foul on the Bearcats.
Now we see Baldwin going into the full court pressure. Let's see how SV Marshall responds to it. They break it with ease.
Ollie works it up to Jackson, then Jackson to Vance, and he'll look for Hogan down low. And Hogan draws contact and a foul on the floor. And Coach McKay making a quick substitution here, bringing in the bigger body of Parrish Huddleston.
I tell you, dude,
it's going to put
due
Huddleston.
To the size advantage that SV Marshall has, a lot of players on Baldwin's bench may get a lot of action.
That time another nice move inside by Vance, but a chance to finish, and he doesn't there. He'll go to the line, but an in-tight look that could have gone in.
Yeah, I tell you, you know, anywhere around the basket, you have to be able to make shots with contact. And there again, I mean, tight game, close game, each and every point will count down the stretch.
Vance knocks down the first one, so the Marshall Tigers now have a lead at 11-10. That's the first time they've led in this contest.
You know, Travis, when they came out and started out in a half-court trap and created sort of an up-tempo, I mean, last couple of minutes I've seen them back away from that pressure. And against a good, solid Baldwin team, you want to be careful because they are fundamentally sound offensively and defensively.
There, the steal created by Ollie. He gets it up to Weatherall. Weatherall leaps over the defender, score it, and the foul.
I tell you, looked like he was there. But good elevation by the freshman.
Take another look at it. The last-second shuffle may have got him, but Weatherall, more than anything, I'm just impressed by the athleticism and the jumping ability he showed getting to the rim there.
Absolutely. We could have had a NBA All-Star type play then.
And again, DeMarcus Weatherall, just a freshman for Coach Patrick's team. And that builds their lead to 14-10. So as much as Marshall struggled to score in the first quarter, now the tide has flipped. Their offense has picked up, and Baldwin is struggling to find points.
Right. I think the inability to hit the three-point shot and Marshall's pressure, and Marshall seems to be a lot more aggressive on the offensive end than when they started out in the first quarter. So
Marshall has outscored Baldwin 11-3 5 minutes into this second quarter, and make that 12-3 as Weatherall completes the three-point play. So now 15-10, largest lead of the game for the Tigers.
Tell you, let's see how Baldwin responds.
It's Burris running into pressure by Ollie. Extended past the three-point line. Now Burris will make his move. Kicks it in the corner. That deep shot is up and no good. Tipped around by Vance. Hogan controls. Great spin move in the lane by Ollie. His layup is up and good.
Incredible shot. I almost thought he was looking for someone to pass it to and had no one. And nice little finger roll close to the basket.
Yeah, he got in midair, realized there was no one else, so he just took it himself and able to spin it in. And Orion, the amazing thing right now, they're making this run, and Tomasio Wilson is on the bench.
I tell you, that is, I mean, key point there. He is definitely on the bench. But hey, you have to go with the guys that are actually producing. So, so far, everyone's producing at this point, so you got to stay with what's working. I think a big key for Baldwin is going to be their ability to hit some outside shots. I mean, the penetration has been cut, and they struggle with the shooting from the field. So that's going to be a big key for them.
They had a good look there on the baseline, couldn't connect, but catch a break as the pass goes off the hands of Hogan. They'll turn it over back to the Bearcats. And you see Coach McKay over there riled up. There's nothing short of a fiery description for him.
Absolutely, I tell you, he is very intense, full of emotion and passion for the game.
Wow. Ooh. Another crazy set of sequences as that one is knocked out of bounds. Weatherall and Huddleston go up on the rebound and both come down hard. Huddleston still down right now.
Yeah, both guys going up for the rebound and look to be a little bit out of position there on that play. Let's hope no one's seriously hurt on that play.
Yeah, it looked like Weatherall came down on the hip. Huddleston was fallen on by Weatherall as they attend to his left knee as he's laid out there underneath the basket. Right now, Marshall Tigers holding on to a 17-10 lead. Under 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Get a look at DeMarcus Weatherall over there. Looks like he's okay. Huddleston still being attended to. Now Huddleston able to get up and walk off in his own power. That's a good sign. And he's definitely a guy that can handle the pain. I was talking to some people from Baldwin earlier, and they said football's his main sport. He got talked into coming out playing basketball because he can help out, but he's definitely a football guy, and you can see so by his body type.
Yeah, he has a strong build, so that is always a good sign to be able to see a player get up and walk off on his own. So I'm glad to see that.
Through all that chaos, the Bearcats able to keep possession. They'll set up underneath the basket. Throw into Gates. Gates looks up top to Lindsey. Now Gates will take a deep three. His shot is no good, but offensive rebound by Burris.
That's a rare offensive rebound that we've seen in this ball game.
Burris, pump fake. His jumper is up and true. Big time shot, a basket they desperately needed.
They really needed that. That was a big time shot by Burris. That ought to give them some motivation here offensively so they can try to make this a good and interesting ball game.
5-point game as we reach the 1 minute mark of the second quarter of this 2A title game. Now Jackson trying to get away from Gates, and he can't. The 5-second call. Great pressure defense by D. Gates creates the turnover.
Really, really solid on-ball defense, staying close enough for the 5 count. That was a great job by Mr. Gates. SV Marshall still in that zone.
Under a minute to go here. Cats working it around. Gates will come to the top of the key. To the corner. That shot is deflected, it looked like, and controlled by Jackson. Now up to Vance. Good piece of defense there. And Vance will push it up slowly. Tigers may be content to settle for the last shot here of the half. Ollie runs into trouble. Ball is tipped, so it's not over and back. Now down to 10 seconds. Vance will go. Looks for Ollie, streaking, and then to Weatherall. Final shot. Too strong, but rebound. Hogan, another one. Blocked. And time will run out before he gets the final shot up. A huge defensive sequence there by Baldwin.
Yeah, I tell you, that was an aggressive defensive play there. Even though SV Marshall got several offensive rebounds and had a couple of opportunities to finish right there around the basket, Baldwin held the ground, blocked a couple, and as a result, they just prevented SV Marshall from extending that lead from 5 to 7.
Marshall with the 5-point lead. We go quickly to Ray Coleman with Antoine Patrick.
Coach, start off a little slow in the first half, but it seems like in the second quarter, you guys started taking control of that defensive glass. Talk about that a little bit.
2 words, Danny does, Marquise Vance. He's the guy that's keeping us in it. He wants it. He's healthier now than he's been all year. He's been battling a hamstring injury, but with him, he's leading the way. He's charging us. Defensively, we only scored 12 points. If they scored 12 points this half, then we'd be state champion. Defensively, that's what we're about.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, send it back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Ray. And Vance with a big second quarter there. He has 7 total points in the first half as Marshall leads 17-12 at intermission. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the first half highlights and get you ready for the final 2 quarters of this 2A title game here on the MHSAA Network.
We have shown opportunity to generations of young men and women, shaped leaders of the past, and guided those to come, lending a hand, finding solutions, honoring a heritage of compassion and service, a feeling of family that starts at home with a global reach, rooted in the foundation of our past, creating the future. This is our state, Mississippi State University.
That's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
1 match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Broadcast of the MHSAA basketball tournament is made possible in part by McAllister's Deli. Delicious is in the details. Also by Applebee's. Applebee's proudly supports Mississippi high school basketball, and by Mama Hamil's, serving up scrumptious Southern comfort food. We are at halftime here at the Class 2A boys title game with SV Marshall on top of Baldwin 17-12, and it was a rough first quarter for both teams. Marshall only able to score 2 points, but they bounced back in a big way to grab the lead and extend it to 5 here at halftime, Orion.
Right, I tell you, the defensive pressure as SV Marshall, I mean, the half-court trap created some tempo for them. I mean, it allowed them to get out and get in transition a little bit, spread the floor a little bit, which opened it up for some penetration, and shots started to fall, and they put together a little run there.
Coach Patrick and his guys leading by 5, and one of the great things we get to do here, and I know you're involved in this, is get a chance to honor the C-Spire Scholar Athlete Award, and gave that at the beginning of the game. Goes to the senior Tomasio Wilson, the point guard for the SV Marshall Tigers, and there's Orion handing out the award, so congratulations, well-deserved for Tomasio. And he hasn't had as big of impact in the first half, but he hasn't been needed to. I expect, though, in the second half, he's going to come out strong. Absolutely.
I think he'll bring the necessary energy. You know, Marquise Vance, he's doing a great job, but he's certainly going to need some help coming up here in the second half. So I anticipate him coming out and really being very, very aggressive offensively and defensively to give that needed support to put SV Marshall in a position to try to win the ball game.
It was funny to hear Coach Patrick say 2 words, dandy dozen, and he knows he's got a big-time player. We have some first-half highlights that we want to take a look at to see how we got to this 17-12 score. Early on, it was Baldwin taking the lead. The 3-ball knocked down by Ian Burris, and then the 8th grader Duke Upshaw getting involved as well. Upshaw leading the way with 5 points for Baldwin. But then you see the big fellas start to take over underneath for Marshall. And the jumper that time by D. Gates, we knew he would have a big game coming off an 18-point performance in the semifinals. But there we go with Vance, number 1, getting hot for Marshall. That was a nice inside look that time. And Duke Upshaw, once again, one of the big presences. But Marshall, part of his 7-point effort by Vance in the first half, helping them build this 17-12 lead. And some interesting halftime numbers, some that we will take a look at here in just a little bit. DeMarcus Weatherall finishing off that one. But right now at the break, 17-12, the Tigers on top of the Bearcats in this 2A title game here on the MHSAA Network.
Servicing the Jackson community for over 15 years. An accredited institution that has developed over 1,000 skilled and ready-to-work graduates, winners of 7 Student Addy Awards in graphic design and photography, giving back to the community with over 1,500 service hours a year, back-to-back winners of the Distinguished Career College Association Great Award. A winning institution with faculty and staff that will get you ready for a career you love. Antonelli College, once the best-kept secret in Jackson, is not a secret anymore.
Did you know Mississippi's 15 community colleges will teach more than 250,000 people in an average year? Nearly 72% of all college freshmen in our state attend a community college. Average tuition and required fees for the whole academic year are just $2,174. A community college is close to wherever you live. Community colleges provide education and workforce training to help us build job skills. Community colleges, in our 2nd century, making a difference in the lives of Mississippians.
Hotel stays at the Cabot Lodge Jackson North and the Cabot Lodge Millsaps include a complimentary hot breakfast buffet, evening reception with beverages and popcorn, access to a fitness center and complimentary wireless access, meeting rooms for corporate or social functions available at both locations, on North State Street in Jackson near Millsaps College and in Ridgeland off I-55 at County Line Road. Reservation information available at cabotlodge.com.
Welcome back to the Mississippi Coliseum, site of the Mississippi High School State Basketball Tournament. We are here for the 2A boys game between Baldwin and SV Marshall. Right now the Tigers on top of the Bearcats, 17-12. I'm Travis Raychick, joined by Orion Watson. As we kind of look over this stat sheet here, I saw you circling the first thing that stood out to me. Field goal percentage not great for the Bearcats.
Absolutely. I tell you, when SV Marshall, they've pretty much either gone to a half-court trap or they've stayed in that zone defense. And unfortunately, Baldwin is going to have to step up and make some shots. I mean, 23% from the field, and then from three-point land, you're looking at right at 13%. I mean, they're going to have to make some shots in order to have a chance to win this ball game.
And they made some adjustments at the break. We want to go to Ray Coleman, who's with Coach McKay right now.
All right, Coach, you're down 5 points at the half. What did you tell your guys in the locker room?
Well, this is a game of possessions, as you can tell with the score being 17-12. We just got to keep playing with that defensive energy like we've been. Our shots are going to start falling, and when that happens, that's going to give us an opportunity to win the basketball game.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
All right, appreciate it, Ray. Once again, Baldwin down by 5, and this is a much lower scoring affair than when these two teams met just 2 weeks ago in the North State Finals. That game going to overtime with the Tigers winning. When we return, we'll have the second half of the 2A boys title game.
We have shown opportunity to generations of young men and women, shaped leaders of the past, and guided those to come, lending a hand, finding solutions, honoring a heritage of compassion and service, a feeling of family that starts at home with a global reach, rooted in the foundation of our past, creating the future. This is our state, Mississippi State University.
Welcome back to the Class 2A Boys State Championship game. The Baldwin Bearcats matched up with the SV Marshall Tigers, both of these schools coming out of the north half of the bracket. Right now, as we get going here, it is the Tigers on top by 5. Once again, they're in the all-white uniforms with the maroon numbers. And quickly they go inside and get an early bucket. Nice play out of the break, setting up Hogan for the and one.
Absolutely, I tell you. I'm sure at halftime, Coach probably re-stressed, hey, look, we got a size advantage here. So they went straight to it, starting off here in the second half.
Hogan's first points of the afternoon. He was 0 of 3 from the field before knocking down that shot. So 19-12, the new lead for the Tigers.
I tell you, that was another missed free throw there, there again in a close game such as this one, every free throw counts, every basket counts.
It'll be very important. That shot up and no good, so the shooting woes continue for the Bearcats, and here comes Vance bringing the ball up the other way. Vance looking inside for Hogan, using that size is what they're going to try and do, and he muscles his way in, but the shot is too strong and controlled by Gates.
Gates, one of the smallest players on the floor, but he comes out of there with a big rebound.
He gets it over to Upshaw. Upshaw draws the foul on Hogan.
Great job by Gates there, pushing the basketball up the floor and able to get it to the 8th grader. So he goes to the line for 2 shots.
In the first half, Upshaw with 5 points. Ian Burris had 5 as well. And then D. Gates with 2, and that was it. Only 3 guys involved in the scoring, but when you only get 12, that's going to be the case.
Absolutely low-scoring affair. I'm sure they would like to see a whole lot more points up on the board, but SV Marshall, doing a great job in that zone. They're packing it in, they're cutting down the penetration, and really forcing Baldwin to shoot from the outside.
Upshaw hits 1 of 2, cuts the lead to 19-13. Tomasio Wilson back in the game, looks for Vance. Vance from the top of the key. His shot is no good. Rebound by Huddleston. Good to see him back in the game after going down with the injury in the first half.
Really is, and a solid job on the block out.
That shot too strong, but Upshaw on the offensive glass, and once again, Duke Upshaw draws a foul and will go to the line.
You definitely have to block out. This is the championship game. This is for the gold ball, and fundamentals do play a major role.
Upshaw, again, that's 2 misses in a row. He's now just 2 of 5 from the line on the afternoon. Lead remains at 6 with another one coming. And again, rattles in and out. So an empty possession for Baldwin. Marquise Vance drives, his layup no good. He gets the rebound and puts it back in. That was pure determination right there by the junior.
Absolutely. You know, Coach stressed. I mean, he has to be the leader. He has to be the guy that steps up. And he certainly showed aggression right there going to the basket.
And a 3-second call there on number 45, Parrish Huddleston. So it'll be turned back over to the Tigers. Almost a steal by Upshaw as he takes down some of the awning behind the basket there.
Aggressive hustle there by Upshaw, I tell you. Baldwin going to the full court pressure, trying to create some tempo and maybe create some easy baskets on their part.
Quick substitution change for Coach Patrick. He's going to let Vance get a breather and bring in the junior Jeremiah Proctor. Here comes Proctor with the ball. Leaves it down low to Weatherall. Nice give and go. And just as he enters the game, Jeremiah Proctor lays one up and in.
Right, that's just great unselfish basketball there. Surprising turnover there by Baldwin.
And quickly the other way comes Wilson. That shot taken from the outside, and he knocks it down. Mr. Proctor has come in and provided a spark, a 12-point lead for the Tigers, and Coach McKay has to get a timeout.
Yeah, I tell you, much needed timeout there. You definitely don't want to let this game get away from you. So trying to stop the run here by SB Marshall.
(25-15), the Tigers on top. Hey, for comprehensive live streaming and on-demand coverage of the Mississippi High School Athletic and Activities Association Championships, you can log on to MISSHSAA.TV. The MHSAA network not only brings you live television coverage of the football and basketball championships on MPB, we also cover the boys and girls finals across numerous sports, such as volleyball, swimming, and last month's soccer championships. Again, that's MISSHSAA.TV. So quickly out of the timeout, Baldwin will try and regroup. They're facing their biggest deficit, down 12 here in the third quarter. Nice aggressive move that time by Gates. He'll draw the foul on Hogan down low.
I tell you, good call right there coming out of the timeout. Penetration, driving to the basket and getting that foul call. They're certainly probably going to have to do more of that and try to break that zone down. And maybe that'll free up some clean looks from the outside.
We've seen Vance step up here in the second and third quarters. Now it's probably time for Gates. He's the guy that leads this team, averaging 15 points a game, scored 18 in the win last week over Bay Springs to get him here, and now he's at just 4 points on the afternoon, and there quickly a steal by Upshaw.
Yeah, I tell you, great read there. Never gave up on the play, and as a result, Baldwin comes up with that steal.
Shot in the corner, up and in and out. That would have been a huge momentum swing, but Lindsey can't get it to fall.
Yeah, I tell you, in and out. But I tell you, that's not the time to stop shooting the basketball. They're still going to have to make sure that they take those good, clean, open looks.
Proctor trying to work it into Hogan. Hogan tries to save it, but it's stolen, and Gates will push. Wow. D. Gates, the scoop shot and the foul. He'll go to the line. A chance to wrap up a three-point play.
Travis, you mentioned a few minutes ago about Gates having to step up, and I believe he heard you over here on the mic.
That was a big-time move. He goes the length of the floor, and as he draws the contact, able to scoop it in with the right hand, and the foul that time on Wilson. So just like that, as Baldwin makes a mini run, it is time to get Marquise Vance back in the game, and Wilson will check out.
I tell you, Gates seems to be feeling it right now. He's making it from the field and from the free throw line. So great job of him stepping up and trying to lead his team on a comeback.
At 2 points, the whole first half, has 5 here in the last 20 seconds. So now it is Vance handling the ball as they look inside to Hogan. Hogan steps on the out of bounds line, and another turnover.
I tell you, Baldwin has really cranked up the defensive pressure, and as a result, it has put SB Marshall into a position where they're turning that basketball over.
Upshaw in trouble in the corner, swings it cross court to Gates. Gates, great look, but that one is deflected as he was trying to find Romero Crump underneath.
I tell you, that was a great look by D. He certainly sees the floor very well and really is trying to put his team on his back right now and get them back in a position where they can tie the game and really, really have a shot at this game down the stretch.
It was interesting there as Coach Antoine Patrick called that timeout. He went to a knee on the floor, it looked like, to gather his thoughts before the team came over. And he's done an amazing job with this Marshall program, taking over for Milton Ray a few years ago after Ray kind of built it up to the power level that it's at. And then Ray moved on to Forest Hill. Patrick was an assistant there. Now he's taken over this team, got him to this level. They've been close a couple of times, lost in the state title game back in 2008 to Scott Central, but today an opportunity to finally bring that gold ball back to Chula.
Yeah, I tell you, that was a great time out there. Let's see how SV Marshall responds.
Well, again, they're going to have to deal with that full court press that has created turnovers on consecutive possessions.
If you take a look at Baldwin, I mean, they are up. They are up in the jerseys right about now. And there again, another turnover.
That time Hogan called for a moving screen. So Baldwin down 7 will have a chance to cut into that lead even more. That was Hogan's 3rd foul, so Coach Patrick gets him over to the bench.
Tell you the fundamental principles on the defensive end. I mean, they're really, really paying off for Baldwin. Now they just got to make some shots.
In the game now is Mason Pinson. He turns it over, and Vance will come back the other way. Vance looks like he wants to score, but he'll kick it out to the wing. Back inside as he'll back down Upshaw. Vance, strong move to the basket and score it.
I tell you, that really is his sweet spot right there down low, even though he can play on the outside.
Gates fires up to 3. That is no good. So Marquise Vance, once again, handling the point guard duties right now, and he'll pop from the outside. That one, though, a little bit off. He was maybe feeling a little too much there.
I agree. I think moving the basketball around a little bit, finding his position down low on the inside. He has a size advantage. He scored a basket on the previous possession, so not the play you want to have at that point in the game.
Good look there to Upshaw, and he uses the window to bank it in. Duke Upshaw continues to impress. Now 27-20.
There they go. Baldwin with the pressure.
With a steal. Gates to Upshaw. He can't finish the layup on the other end, and a foul now on Baldwin.
You're talking about a play that could have swung the momentum. Baldwin comes up with the steal. Great lead pass by Gates, but you got to finish those.
Well, it looked like Upshaw was contemplating punching it home with the dunk or going with the layup at the end, and the confusion may have cost him. But Baldwin does come up with a stop, knocked out of bounds, and they'll take over possession.
Exactly. I tell you, Baldwin's really, really a gritty team, and they're going to fight all the way down to the end.
Burris and Pinson working it down low to Gates. He tries to fire it to Upshaw and then knocked out of bounds.
Tell you, SV Marshall, I mean, they're hanging in that zone, and Baldwin hasn't figured out a way to really capitalize and break that zone down.
And they can't get the 3 ball to go down. It's been a tough struggle for them outside today. On the other end, the shot is no good that time by Weatherall, and then over the back on Jeremiah Proctor.
Yeah, I tell you, ball, high ball in the air, but there again, fundamentals. Baldwin had inside position there, and great job of securing that basketball on the rebound there. Oh, excuse me, being in position.
Stoppage in play here with 2:16 remaining in the third quarter. Marshall holding on to a 27-20 lead. They led this game by 5 at the break, so they've extended it by 2 here in the third quarter. And remember, in the first quarter, 2, that's all they had. That was the total number of points, but that was an aberration as they've settled down, and both teams have. And the turnover now created by the Tigers, they'll push the other way. All the way to the rim, and contact charge called.
Wow. I tell you, to be in position to make that play, you know, is huge. And that says a lot about players that will stand in that lane and sacrifice their bodies for their team. I mean, that says a lot about a basketball player.
Kadarius Wilson a little bit out of control as he decided to keep it on the fast break. So Baldwin again has a chance to cut into that 7-point lead. It's been this way for a few possessions. Gates knocks it down from the corner. A big shot as he continues to step up.
I tell you, looks like Baldwin is figuring out that zone. So it's going to be interesting to see if Baldwin scores again, how SV Marshall responds. See if they will change their defense or not.
Jamal Jackson setting things up. He works it down to Vance. Vance has Upshaw on him. Will kick it to the top. Jackson will fire. Jackson up and in on the shooter's touch, and a foul. Chance for 4.
Not the play you want to have happen.
And you want to talk about a potential momentum changer. That right there was pure shooter's luck. And he drew contact.
It looks like he used every bit of that iron for that one to go down.
Pushes the lead back up to 8 now, just as Baldwin had cut it to 5. We're making a run, and the free throw good as well. 4-point play by Jamal Jackson. Wow. Now Pinson will swing it over to Lindsey as the Bearcats work it around the top of the circle. Fired up from the outside. That time is no good, but offensive rebound to Lindsey. Gates' shot is short. Another board. Burris in the lane. He can't finish, and finally Marshall will control.
Wow, several opportunities there, just couldn't capitalize on it.
Under a minute to go, third quarter. It's 31-22. And it looks like a technical has been called on Coach McKay and the Baldwin side.
Getting a call like that certainly could have an impact on a game like this. It gives SV Marshall an opportunity to extend that lead.
It's such a game where momentum swings as soon as Baldwin cut it to 5. The 4-point play, they get 4 looks at the basket last time down, can't connect on all of them, and frustration for Coach McKay called for the technical, and then free throws by Wilson on the other end. He hits 1 of 2. Extends the lead to 10. Marshall will keep possession. So now, just about a half minute to go here in the third. Tomasio Wilson, who we haven't talked about all that much, but his team still leads by 10. Wow, a steal coming the other way, and a layup by Tevin Lindsey.
Aggressive defensive pressure created the turnover.
Wilson makes his move and draws contact that time on Gates. But again, it is only the 5th team foul, so no bonus yet.
Tell you, Wilson's been quiet here. Still hasn't done a lot offensively.
Ball worked inside to Wilson. 5 seconds to go. He'll set up for the final shot. Wilson from the corner. Just short off the front iron, and that'll do it for the 3rd period of play. A lot of good action there as Marshall has extended their lead to 32-24 with just 8 minutes remaining in this 2A title game. Lindsay with the late turnover and score. We'll be back to wrap up this 2A championship game on the MHSAA Network.
Servicing the Jackson community for over 15 years. An accredited institution that has developed over 1,000 skilled and ready-to-work graduates, winners of 7 Student Addy Awards in graphic design and photography, giving back to the community with over 1,500 service hours a year, back-to-back winners of the Distinguished Career College Association Great Award. A winning institution with faculty and staff that will get you ready for a career you love. Antonelli College, once the best-kept secret in Jackson, is not a secret anymore.
Did you know Mississippi's 15 community colleges will teach more than 250,000 people in an average year? Nearly 72% of all college freshmen in our state attend a community college. Average tuition and required fees for the whole academic year are just $2,174. A community college is close to wherever you live. Community colleges provide education and workforce training to help us build job skills. Community colleges, in our 2nd century, making a difference in the lives of Mississippians.
Hotel stays at the Cabot Lodge Jackson North and the Cabot Lodge Millsaps include a complimentary hot breakfast buffet, evening reception with beverages and popcorn, access to a fitness center, and complimentary wireless access. Meeting rooms for corporate or social functions available at both locations. On North State Street in Jackson near Millsaps College and in Ridgeland off I-55 at County Line Road. Reservation information available at cabotlodge.com.
Welcome back to the Big House. We're getting ready for the final quarter of this boys 2A title game. But quickly, we want to head down to the sidelines with our man, Ray Coleman.
All right, Travis, thanks so much. I am here with Casey Fisher, former Utica High and Southern Miss star. He played twice in the Big House state finals. Talk about the pressure that these kids are under playing in such a large venue.
Well, the kids are now, they practice all year in small gyms, and now this atmosphere, city pride is on the line, school pride is on the line. And it's a different atmosphere, but they just playing the best and hard as they can.
Talk about some of your fondest memories of playing here for the state championship.
Well, one memory as a 9th grade, I came here with some seniors, and Mac Adams kind of put us to sleep. Then my senior year was with Hickory Flat. We kind of lost at the buzzer.
Thank you so much, Casey, for your time, man. Guys, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Ray, and thanks, Casey. Baldwin starts with the ball here, down 8 in the 4th quarter. And as Upshaw goes to make his move, he slips and turns the ball over. Now Wilson will push up to Jackson. Back to Vance. The starters back in for the Tigers.
Tell you, 4th quarter, this is all or nothing. So I anticipate the pace getting picked up a little bit, especially on Baldwin's side, because they definitely need to create some offense.
Wilson trying to back down Gates. Looks for Weatherall. Great catch and a great finish. That was just an athletic move by the freshman.
Absolutely. And for Wilson to be able to make that pass and the hands to catch that pass, it's a big-time individual move there.
Gates drives in and draws contact. And we saw D. Gates really elevate his game in the 3rd quarter. Only had 2 points in the 1st half. He comes out with 7. He's now the leading high man for the Bearcats with 9, and he's going to be the guy that's going to bring him back if it happens.
Absolutely, and but somebody else is definitely going to have to step up and help shoulder some of that load. I mean, he's doing everything he can right now. He's distributing the basketball. He's scoring with the basketball, but he's definitely going to have some help here down the stretch.
Okay, you look at the 3-point percentage for Baldwin. They're 1 of 14. That's not good, but Do you go away from that, which has been one of your strengths throughout the season because they're not falling, or do you expect eventually they got to go down?
Eventually, somebody's definitely going to have the confidence to keep pulling the trigger. I don't think that's something that, that's something they've been used to all year. I mean, this is for all the marbles right here. You definitely don't want to stop that. You want to keep that going. And all it takes is 1 or 2, and it'll definitely swing the momentum in the game.
Get the confidence going. Gates hits both free throws. He's now up to 11 on the afternoon. Vance looking down low, but Vance will just take the shot on the offensive glass. Good job that time. Gates comes down with it in the land of the big men. Now they swing it out to Burris. Burris inside.
Nice pass.
But the layup can't be converted. Crump a little bit too strong, and the Tigers clear.
Every basket counts, and every possession counts. There again, inside, you got to finish those.
Expect to see a lot of Wilson and a lot of Vance for Marshall here in the final period. Those two being patient on the outside right now.
They've got a little two-man game going here.
Wilson, the up and under jump shot off the backboard and no good. It'll be cleared out by Burris.
Great opportunity there to try to push in transition.
Baseline move, that shot no good by Tevin Lindsay. So again, cleared by Weatherall. Lead remains at 8, just over 5 minutes to go in this championship game.
Shooting woes continue for Baldwin. But I tell you, they're going to have to keep putting it up.
Wilson tries to make move baseline. Good defense from Upshaw, forces him to step on the inbound line.
Yeah, I tell you, every possession, I mean, Baldwin's going to have to dig a little bit deeper to try to create some turnovers. And, they really may need to try to get out in transition a little bit to try to get some easy baskets.
Marshall remains in that zone as Baldwin fires it from the outside. That time Burris can't hit. And again, now 1 of 15 on the game from three-point land.
Yeah, I tell you, even though you have a tough shooting night, somebody's got to find the touch.
Oh, good look inside at the inbounds, but not able to finish that time, Devontae Gates.
Another opportunity to capitalize on the inside. Missed opportunity there.
Vance will kick it over to Jackson. Jackson back to Vance, and now Wilson controls up top. He drives into traffic and travel. Wow.
There again, Baldwin surrounded with 3 defenders. I mean, definitely could have gone either way. They could have got a charge called out of that play too as well. Good defensive possession there by Baldwin.
About halfway through this final period, it's that time where the Bearcats got to start chipping into the lead. They've had a couple of empty possessions, but down 8, they need to start making their way back.
Absolutely, and I anticipate that they need to go into some full court pressure too as well to try to get this tempo up. I mean, they're allowing SV Marshall to really walk it up.
Big time rebound underneath, and the bucket good by Duke Upshaw.
Big play there. That's one that they really, really needed. Let's see how they respond defensively here, if they go into some full court pressure or if they stay in the half court man-to-man and continue to apply pressure there.
Well, if the three-pointers aren't going down, you got to work the offensive glass, and Upshaw does just that, but he can't capitalize on the free throw. 34-28, under 4 to go.
Vance has been a little bit quiet. Let's see what he does here.
Vance, nice pass to Hogan, but Hogan can't control it, and so Baldwin the other way. Gates
penetration
will drive his floater up and good. It's now a 4-point game, and Coach Patrick immediately signals for a timeout.
I tell you, defensive pressure, teardrops in the lane. We got a ball game.
Marshall with a 34-30 lead 3.5 to go. Hey, with all this exciting action, if you want to, you can purchase a DVD of today's championship games. What you need to do is log on to MHSAA.tv. Also available there are all the exciting semifinal matchups from this past week's game here at the Coliseum. Check out all the available championships on DVD at MHSAA.tv. And Orion, we're set for a good finish here. A couple of big baskets the last 2 times down for Baldwin. That's cut the lead to 4 with just over 3.5 minutes to go.
And I'll tell you right now, looks like we're going to see both teams have to grind it out here in these last 3 minutes and 35 seconds. Looks like it's going to be an exciting finish.
So coming off the basket, Baldwin will set up the full court press. And Marshall will look for Wilson to now control.
You know, haven't really seen SB Marshall set up and and run a lot of offense. See what they do here.
Oh, great look that time. Vance to Hogan. Count it.
Smart play out of the timeout there, taking advantage of that size once again.
Give credit to Coach Patrick for drawing that one up in a good 2-man game. Those two create a lot of space underneath for the Tigers.
Absolutely.
Big answer that time down for Marshall as Hogan completes the 3-point play, 37 to 30.
I tell you, it's going to be interesting to see how Baldwin responds here. Do they look for the 3 or do they go for the penetration?
Gates will penetrate, he'll drive, shot short, but he comes up with the rebound. And as he tried to make another move, he traveled, ran into a lot of friction inside.
A lot of big bodies in there.
It's a very nice advantage that the Tigers have with Vance and being able to get the ball into him on the pressure.
Seeing a lot of players slip on the floor out here. I mean, wonder if we got a few wet spots out there.
And it looks like they're going to try and wipe things down underneath. Upshaw was looking for the steal, and as he came down, lost his footing. Ball knocked out of Baldwin, so the Tigers keep possession.
On this play, I tell you, Travis, I wonder if SB Marshall is going to try to go inside. I mean, they definitely have the size advantage. It works for them when they go to it. Curious to see if they're going to try to go inside here.
So off the inbounds, they just hurl it to the other end of the floor and let Wilson go to work.
Baldwin with that quick defense.
Good pressure by Lindsey and Gates. They almost create the steal, but it goes off of Gates. Marshall lucky to keep the basketball.
Absolutely. I tell you, Baldwin is really, really pressuring on ball and in every passing lane. And they definitely come up with the steal.
They do get the steal. Duke Upshaw creates a turnover, so Gates will now push. Burris drives. Great leave underneath. The finish, though, no good, and Hogan comes down with the rebound.
Tell you, that was good hands by Hogan to be able to secure that rebound.
Vance and Hogan look to go to work here. Vance will take the shot, but he walks before he gets it off.
Here, Baldwin, they have another opportunity to try to close this gap some.
Just over 2 to play. Bearcats are down 7. Burris and Lindsey working up top for the Bearcats. Now they swing it to Gates. Gates to Upshaw. Has a lot of traffic in there, but does draw contact, and Duke Upshaw will head back to the line.
Tell you, that free throw line has not been kind to him tonight. But, these are 2 critical free throws here. He definitely needs to knock these down.
And we knew this game would probably come down to some very important trips to the line. This, the biggest of the afternoon so far. Again, in and out. Upshot, unable to find it from the line. He does connect on the second free throw. 37-31, under 2 to go. That time he almost creates the steal.
Baldwin's going to have to bring that full court pressure. 1:52 left to go in the game, and they got to create some more turnovers here to have a chance.
Tigers get it into Weatherall, and then now back to Wilson. Wilson carried the ball, and that's a turnover.
The quickness of Baldwin and the ability to be able to guard the basketball, it has been incredible. And it's paid off for them. I mean, they've come up with several turnovers and really have given themselves opportunities to definitely be in this game.
Down 6, another chance to cut into that lead here.
I think they got to hurry up and get some shots up. I mean, time is against them.
Gates will take it again, in and out. Can't count the number of times that has happened this afternoon. Now Weatherall looks to be in a little bit of trouble, but the freshman brings it up, and Coach Patrick saw the reservation on the freshman's face and quickly calls a timeout.
Absolutely. He definitely did not want to risk turning that basketball over at that point, so that was a good timeout call on his behalf.
So under a minute and a half to go here in this 2A boys title game. Marshall on top by 6. The first state championship given out came this morning to New Site, and 2 more will be handed out tonight. In girls 3A action, it's the Belmont Lady Cardinals against big-time rival, the Ripley Lady Tigers. And a highlight event, Orr and I will be back to call Kemper County and their All-American Devontae Pollard as they take on the defending state champs, the Boonville Blue Devils. And I'm really looking forward to that boys game coming up tonight.
Hey, absolutely. I tell you, there's going to be some tremendous talent on the floor, and definitely going to be an exciting basketball game. And maybe we'll get a chance to see both of those teams put up some big numbers tonight.
We have not seen big numbers in this game, but we have seen a very close, well-contested game and a 6-point contest here with just under a minute and a half to go.
Absolutely. I mean, defensive battles is basically what it's coming down to. Point production, definitely, when teams start locking in, point production goes down. And it's very critical that you execute offensively and have a sound performance defensively if you expect to get that goal ball.
Tigers throw it in from midcourt and leave it in the backcourt for Wilson. And Lindsay is all over him. In the corner to Weatherall. Weatherall will drive baseline. He takes a shot and gets it to go. I don't know if Coach Patrick wanted the quick shot, but if it goes down, he'll take it.
Absolutely. That's not the shot that you want. You definitely want to try to run some time off the clock, but hey, it goes down, you extend the lead, so I'm sure Coach will take it.
Under a minute to go. Baldwin has to hurry now. Upshaw on the baseline. His shot is short. Rebound. Fought for.
Great hustle.
Nice effort that time by Burris to get down on the floor and call a timeout.
That's what you want to see in a championship game. I mean, hey, you want to see guys going after loose balls, diving on the floor for the balls. And that's the reason why both of these teams are here, I'm sure. That plays a part in it.
So Coach McKay trying to draw something up, get his team back in the game. And as we see the Marshall fans who made the trip down from Chula up there in Holmes County, getting pretty live here. And Holmes County is a basketball-crazed area. Last year, Durant won a 1A state title coming out of there. They were back at the state tournament this year. In the semifinals, it was Holmes County rivals William Sullivan taking on Marshall. Marshall winning that one to get here, so a lot of good hoop up there.
Absolutely. I tell you, if I'm an assistant college basketball coach right now, I would be in that area looking for the talent that they are producing in those areas.
48 seconds left to play here. Marshall, an 8-point lead. So Baldwin will have the possession.
You know, with 48 seconds left and you're down by 8, you're still not out of this ball game. You know, the significance of the 3-point shot, I mean, it can make a difference to the game very, very quickly.
And it's made a difference because it hasn't gone down. 1 of 17 from 3-point range for Baldwin so far. But at this juncture in the game, you probably still need to fire them up from out there. Quickly,
Absolutely.
they get it in the corner. Burris to Gates. Gates will fire it up. And
wow.
Guess what? He gets it to go.
Big time shot.
D. Gates now with 16 points on the afternoon. 2 of 18 from out there. That one huge.
Absolutely. I mean, it cuts the lead now down to 5. You definitely got plenty of time left on the clock. It's going to be very, very crucial now for SV Marshall to take care of the basketball and possibly now be in a situation where you got to step to the free throw line and you got to knock down free throws. So we got an exciting ball game on our hands right now.
Well, what's interesting to note, the last time these two teams played, it was in the North State Finals just under 2 weeks ago. Marshall led that game by 10 points in the final 2 minutes. Baldwin made a furious rally, actually regained the lead in regulation until Wilson hit a bucket to tie it with 5 seconds to go. They go to overtime, and then the Tigers prevailed 66-61. So Baldwin knows how to make wild, late comebacks against Marshall.
And we could have another finish like that tonight.
Almost create the steal. Wilson will push it up. Wilson will quickly take a shot, and he gets it to go.
Absolutely. Heads up play by avoiding the charge, too, as well.
Burris will fire it up from outside.
Wow.
He gets that one to go. It is now a 4-point game, and they must foul. They do quickly.
It is amazing how that 3-point shot can really, really narrow the gap. And I tell you, that gap has been narrowed very quickly. Now it's up to SV Marshall to get to the free throw line. They got to make the free throws here now down the stretch. 21.8 seconds, still a lot of time left on the clock.
3 of 19 from beyond the arc for Baldwin, 2 of 2 on the last 2 possessions. Wilson calmly steps to the line, huge free throws. He hits the first of a 1-and-1.
Absolutely pushes this out now to a 2-possession game. I mean, it's still, if he makes this free throw, still could be a 2-possession game with a 3-point shot.
That one too strong. So quickly the other way comes Lindsey. Lindsey will pull up and fire. Lindsey off the back iron, grabbed by Hogan, and Hogan is fouled.
I tell you, Hogan went up big time to get that rebound. Definitely in situations like this, it's important for SV Marshall to give them one shot at the basket, but they definitely have to rebound.
So now Raheem Hogan will head to the line where he is 1 of 2 on the afternoon. He knocks down the first one.
I tell you, they're stepping up to the line with some concentration. I mean, these free throws are big.
Lead now at 6. Second one, no good. Under 15 seconds to go. Gates must get it up quick. Gates will fire. His shot is off. Pulled out by Weatherall. Weatherall gets it to Wilson. He'll hold on to it. And the SV Marshall Tigers are bringing home a 2A state championship. The Tigers hold on to beat the Bearcats by a final this afternoon of 43-37. Big time win for Coach Patrick and his club. So the teams shake hands, a well-played game, very hard fought. When we come back, we'll hear from the winning coach and show you the trophy presentation here on the MHSAA Network.
We have shown opportunity to generations of young men and women, shaped leaders of the past, and guided those to come, lending a hand, finding solutions, honoring a heritage of compassion and service, a feeling of family that starts at home with a global reach, rooted in the foundation of our past, creating the future. This is our state, Mississippi State University.
that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
The head coach, Coach Patrick, state champion. How's it feel, man?
First of all, again, I told you earlier, we believe in God. All glory, all praise goes to God. I want to thank superintendent, principal, my guys, the fans, Holmes County in general. It's our first championship. It feels good, not just for me, just for them.
Talk about that. Your fans come all the way from Chula, man. What does it mean to the city?
I tell you one thing, we probably have one of the best fans that you can possibly get. They're hard on us, but you know what? They're faithful and they're true. So with that, I want to tell them thank you. Hopefully they'll see this and say thank you. And I thank everybody.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Travis, we'll send it back to you, man.
All right, thanks a lot, Ray. Once again, the Marshall Tigers, your 2A boys state champions. They beat Baldwin this afternoon, 43-37. An impressive performance this afternoon for the Tigers. Impressive season for them. They finished the year 32-3, 28 straight victories to close out this 2012 campaign, and they are bringing the gold ball back to Holmes County. And as you look down the line, a lot of guys contributed this afternoon. It was a total team effort. Marquise Vance, the Dandy Dozen Jr., led all scorers with 12 points. But you also look at the freshman, DeMarcus Weatherall, 9 points in the winning effort, and all around strong team performance. And congratulate Baldwin as well. They put together an amazing season. Many thought that they wouldn't get here, especially after they lost their best player, Reggie Patterson, to an injury during the football season. They make it here, and Coach McKay and the guys have a lot to be proud of. But right now, the spotlight deservedly belongs to the Marshall Tigers as they are getting their gold medal. And it was hard fought because they did not come out on fire in this game. Only 2 points in the first quarter, but then strong effort the rest of the way to secure this title. And you got to feel good for a program that has been building to this for many years. We said earlier it was kind of built up by Milton Ray, and then he moved on to Forest Hill, left it to his assistant, Antoine Patrick, and Coach Patrick finally completes the mission. They got to the title game in 2008, but lost to Scott Central. There will be no disappointment today as a happy bunch of Tiger fans will head back north to Holmes County with a gold ball, which is about to be given out to the Tigers faithful, and they came out in full force today. What a crowd they brought on hand for this title game. 43-37, once again, the final score, and it got close late, got to a 4-point game, but big free throws down the stretch, securing the victory for SV Marshall. And as they get set here, it is time for Coach Patrick to get his medal, and it is time for those fans right there. It looks like they would like to storm the court and go send their congratulations, but they'll hold off as it is gold ball time at the big house. They will hoist it up and happily be crowned the 2A Mississippi State Champs.